Grace time is over. Real Housewives of Beverly Hills is back. Okay. Loving this intro episode. I have to tell you that the trailer seemed a little disjointed. And after a very dysfunctional season last year, I wasn't sure what we'd be coming back to. I will say first and foremost, I like the choices. There's a friend that was snuck in there towards the end that I need to do some research on, not knowing who she is. We'll get to her, but for the most part, an amazing start. I'm happy. Yay. This is my favorite franchise, especially because I lived in Southern California. I live in LA and spent a lot of time in Beverly Hills. So this speaks to my soul, if you will. So starting, Sutton goes to visit Jennifer Tilly, who I feel like the same type of woman that Sutton is. Why wouldn't they be friends is the question. They meet up, they catch up, that sort of thing. And then Sutton talks about this surrealism party, and I've never been. I'm so tired of these theme parties. Like, oh my god, I say this with love because the last party I went to was a theme party and it was beautifully executed. It was gorgeous, but I don't want to go to any more like roaring 20s Harlem Renaissance, like those kind of parties. I'm really looking forward to stuff that's like futuristic and new. Like, I think we've had our fill with the past. Let's look towards the future. And I think that this was an awesome party idea. Moving on, Erika met up with Dorit. They were at PDC, Pacific Design Center. It's been a long time since I've been in there. Erika and Dorit caught up. And then Erika told Dorit that she is redesigning her living room. There's furniture pieces that remind her of her relationship with her ex. I can totally relate to this. My MO, if we break up, I'm throwing your stuff out. And there are moments where I find some things and I'm like, given to me by blank, what are you gonna do? We're gonna throw it away because I don't want to be reminded. I also think there's some kind of like bad juju that's connected to like the energy that, especially those that were negative in your life, just having that stuff around. I think that can crowd your space and make it really hard to cleanse I think that having things that belong to people that were negative in a way kind of keep that negative energy in your space. And your home is supposed to be your sanctuary. Why would I have a pillow of somebody that caused me to, file for bankruptcy right here? Why would I be snuggling up with this pillow? It goes in the garbage. I even had a girlfriend say that when you break up with someone that you're supposed to get rid of like your intimates and your sheets. And I was thinking at the time, that's very expensive. Because I'm like, the relationships here don't last that long. Anyway, but I see what she means. I do. And if you get them on sale, girl, you're good. You're good. TikTok's a great place to buy those things. Check out my showcase. Anyway, these two are having that convo, and then Dorit but she literally breaks the news that her and PK are separated. And listen, I know that Erika's on the other side of her like, what was that called? Of her evil character arc, because she said, I'm going to cry, instead of something very snarky and deadpan. Do we not remember the anti-Erika for the past few years? Like, she's been relentless to the point where I'm like, girl, are you gonna fight somebody next? Like, it's giving rage, it's giving ravenous, like, sis. But she led with compassion. But Bravo is being messy, and they're like, yeah, isn't it ironic how, and then go back to a BravoCon where, she like basically predicts that the next couple is going to break up.
I think it's Dorit and PK.
And Dorit's ass is like, well, I don't think that she guessed anything. I just said, Girl, she did. Guess what? People see things. They do. People see things. And if your husband's an alcoholic, he didn't just become an alcoholic overnight. It's gonna create a problem in your relationship. at one point or another. But, you know, I thought that it was great that Erika was compassionate, and that's exactly what she needed. When I was listening to it the first time, I wasn't watching the show. I was just listening to it. She said he was pouring alcohol on his, and I didn't hear problems, right? I just saw her emotion. I was like, wait a minute. Like, is this a new thing? Like, because I know like some people that are addicts will put their substances in certain parts of their body. And I was like, we're pouring alcohol on the... That wasn't the case. Moving on to Kyle and Erika meeting up. We see what life is like post Mo at Kyle's house. And it's kind of sad because I come to know these people in my head and in my living room together. So it's like, are you guys even good by yourselves? Like, are you guys as interesting by yourselves? I don't know. I think we're going to see. But it's just not, it's a sad thing to see a family break up, and for what? And I almost forgot. I almost blamed it on Mo. I was like, his old dirty ass just went out there and found a new girlfriend. I completely forgot about Morgan. We'll get into it. Kyle and Erika sit down, they chit chat, and they do have a conversation about Dorit, but it doesn't have anything to do with the breakup. And here's my thing about that. Kyle's memory is very conditional. And when she's on the other side of like a falling out with someone, she wants a very simple way to get back into her good graces. You heard me right. If we fall out, it's a simple way to get back into her good graces. And she is very calculating and manipulative when it comes to getting her way. You most definitely don't have any autonomy when it comes to relating to her. She's only going to accept the friendship one way. But this is what I got from the whole thing that I think a lot of people don't understand, because I think most people have healthy relationships with their siblings. What I got out of it was something that I think you guys won't understand. And Erika said it best. She said, I might look at these issues, the things said at BravoCon. Dorit said, which sister is my favorite sister out of the Richards sisters? She said that Kathy was, instead of Kyle. But this is what I picked up on. People that pick the other sisters over Kyle or try to get in between their relationship are doomed. One thing I think a lot of you guys don't see is the triangulation. And for healthy-minded individuals and families, sharing friendships, being friends with your brother's best friend or your sister's best friend, it's cool. It's a family thing. But if you come from a family like mine, where my sister has befriended my friends and they don't speak to me anymore, you get very territorial with your people. And that's the problem. People have sidestepped Kyle to become friends with Kim and Kathy. And that's a no-no. As soon as you become friends or friendly with my sister, I'm done. Because there are so many times where I brought her into the fold because she doesn't make friends very well or whatever, she's awkward. And the next thing I know, that person's telling me how she's talking about me. Like my own sister. She's ruined friendships I've had with people I grew up with. Like, it's crazy. Now, all these people weren't the best people anyway, but they were my friends at the time. And one by one, those people just stopped speaking to me altogether. So I see that as a red flag. I don't share friendships or relationships. I have a lot of narcissists in my family, a lot of unhealthy individuals mentally, people who don't care about anybody else. Like, these people are treacherous. They actually want you to have no one but them. They would prefer it, so they will ruin relationships with your people so that you have no one else to go to but their raggedy asses. So it's, for me, if you start being chummy with my sister, we're done, because we have a thing going already. This shit is eternal. This is what it's going to be for the rest of our lives. Hey, sometimes you're related to your enemies, and that's okay. That's it. If I hear that you prefer that one, then you can have her. Have it. And it's not jealousy. That's something that people that don't have emotional intelligence say. It is I don't feel safe or comfortable because I don't feel comfortable or safe with this particular person who has access to me, who I can't get away from, who is family. So we have to sit here and occasionally come around each other, but we have a fractured relationship that affects me in a way that me getting an argument with you would never be the same. So you palling with this person right here, just to be used as a pawn, because you will be used as a pawn, trust me. And at times, and I think this about Kathy, although Kathy is one of my favorites, that's hilarious, right? I do think that Kathy activates people against Kyle at times. They do. They triangulate. They manipulate each other to get at each other, to get through the day, really. They are constantly moving people around like chess pieces. So, to get back what we were talking about, I think that once Dorit decided to not kiss Kyle's butt and to go around and to try to become chummy with Miss Kathy, she was like, I got your number, bro. And then following up on the reunion, saying what she said, we're done. We're literally done. One thing I know about Kyle Richards, when she is talking about that family, she loses it. She loses it. And I can relate, because there's nobody that can get me angry like my family members. A couple of them. The disdain, just the lack of regard, the outright toxicity and just nastiness, sheer fucking nastiness that these people bring to the table, the people that you're supposed to be related to, the things they've done, the crimes they have committed, honey, the things they've tried to do to ruin my life. And, oh, that's my sister, so I gotta see her on Thanksgiving. I bet I won't. I bet I won't ever be around this girl. So I see that their relationships are fractured. Anyone trying to interject is going to be written off. I would be surprised if Dorit is on the show for the next 2 years, because once you cross Kyle, I don't see Kyle leaving this franchise. She really needs it. She loves it. And unless she has something new that fills that space, like a new love, a business venture that totally invigorates her, which I don't think we've seen that in a while, but I could almost see her doing this if she fell in love with somebody. I can see that. But outside of that, she needs the show. She needs the show to maintain everything. It's the center of the universe. Speaking of center of the universe, moving on to Garcelle. When Garcelle started, she was coming off of being a single mom, doing the best she can, working here and there. But the way that she has leveraged this opportunity is marvelous. I hope that the editors, I feel that they did. I hope that the editors were invigorated by that package that they did for her, because it could stand alone it could be its own commercial. It could be its own video that's shown at a TED Talk. It's perfect. It made me feel like so excited and invigorated, especially right now. Personally, it's like, I don't know what I want to do with my life. It made me want to do something, it just, like, she's doing so many awesome things, and she's not putting her eggs in one basket. I love that she's a Black actress that everyone knows, and she doesn't have to focus on interacting with these individuals to work with these individuals or work with these people. She's able to move freely in Black Hollywood, in Hollywood. She can make a Lifetime movie. She can make a movie just for people of color and for Black people. You know what I'm talking about. I did appreciate seeing her on set and how complimentary she was to everybody. She thanked the location person. She told the producer, something. I think that they complimented the writers. There was a moment where someone in the when they were in the board, it was like a boardroom or a conference room, someone complimented her for hiring a director, and she turned around and she turned around and complimented him. That don't happen on set. People get so full of themselves. They're like, yeah, especially in EP, he thinks he's all that. He thinks that he's the reason that the thing was ever written in the first place, that everybody was casted for it. Like, they really have inflated egos. And I was just like, the grace that she exuded, I was completely excited. Moving on to an even better part of the story. Well, PK and Mo, they met up and they act like they were sad because they were going through their separation. But honestly, I really think that they're happy and relieved that those relationships are over, basically. And hopefully we never see them again. Moving on. I have been following Bose for a few years. I think that she was a CMO at Uber when I started following her. So I've seen her go through a transformation. I don't know her personally, never met her, but I definitely will follow the girls, especially the girls that are doing big things in in tech and in really entertainment, because I believe she was at Netflix for a minute. So I've seen her from afar. So I was really excited to see that she was on the show. And I was like, whose friend is she going to be? Whose friend is she going to be? It would be too much like right for her to be Garcelle's friend. Bose and Sutton, it made sense. The party being the debut place, awesome. Loved it. Loved the setup. Loved everything. The party looked fun. I was highly jealous that I wasn't invited. Just kidding. I'm trying to think of what I liked about it. I have some notes. Bose and Dorit hit it off. I think Dorit needed a friend, and I think Bose is just being like friendly. So we'll see if that blossoms into something. I just see Dorit saying something crazy and Bose just not having it. Just not, like she can be quite ignorant at times, and I just see Bose just being like, no thanks. Kyle had a moment with Garcelle, and I know at times they do a fake nice thing before the daggers come out, and I get why that happens, because Kyle always wants to be able to control the trajectory of friendships, and Garcelle, she's a wild card. So if you're not used to being real, you guys can't really be friends. Like because Garcelle's gonna pull you right into the ring. She was like, well, it's hard for people to not say anything or think you guys were together when you guys put together the music video. I mean, it's kind of hard, and instead of saying, girl, I know, right? She doesn't say anything. What is this? Like, be real. You were real enough to do it, then be real enough to own up to it. Like, it's right there in front of our faces. Why are we pretending like we don't see this? Why are we pretending? Let me get some of this good light. Y'all silly. Anyway, there was a moment where Kyle was like, since I feel safe with you, I can talk to you. Girl, you don't feel safe with Garcelle. You're just being manipulative. You don't feel safe with her. You feel safer with her now that seats have been shuffled, but you will not recruit her as one of your cronies. And even though I believe Sutton and her have negotiated space, Sutton is ready to let you know too that she ain't gonna have it. So here's the question: how are you going to maintain control over this group when you don't have an ace boon coon? If you fight the person who is the most eager to be your friend, how do you think you maintain your placement in this room? You yelling at everybody, crying hysterically, you're not going to be able to white woman tears this group. I think honestly the way for you to get your mojo back is to partner with your sister, because I actually see her sister being able to take over the franchise if she wanted to. I don't think Kathy wants to. I think Kathy wants to be wherever her sister is. I think she wants to be where the party's at. I don't think she has any interest in this franchise outside of the fact that it's been associated with her family all this time, and she needs something to do. I think that's really it. I think it's just like, it's fun and it's something to talk about. And I think that Kathy's a socialite, and this is kind of brings them close in a way. I just honestly don't see how she's going to maintain her reign, and can see how people will decide to turn against her, like collectively, and what that looks like. And Erika will be pulled in to be her right hand. And do you remember how they used to treat Erika? That's my thing. Like, it's crazy when the person that liked you the least now is leaning on you. Like, I'm trying to figure out like how that feels in real life. It's been a long time since I've been around people who were like super toxic. I'm outside of my family members. I'm just saying, like, a friend that I met, like, you're the bottom of the totem pole of friends. Like, someone's mad that they've got to sit next to you or talk to you almost. You know what I'm saying? Like, we are not that cool. In fact, we got into an argument and now we have to sit next to each other at the white elephant party. And now, listen, in a new environment, I'm the friendly face. Oh my God, I'm so glad. And I mean, I would be in my head the whole time like, bitch, you didn't like me. And that happens a lot. It's an interesting situation. The party goes on and there's like that weird moment, the most awkward moment where Dorit walks up and she's like, hi, Kyle. And they have like a weird hug and it's super awkward. They're being super awkward on purpose. Garcelle and Sutton walk away. I don't think Bose knows what's going on. There's this other friend there and I need to look her up to see what her deal is because I don't know much about her at all. And there's a performance and that's strange, but interesting nonetheless. And then there's a moment where Kyle's like, so we're going to become friends again. And I'm going to guide you through let's become friends package. So you were mad about this. I just need you to say yes, and I'm going to say what I'm mad about. And now that we're back, we can be friends. And that's when I have off into the sunset. Right off into the sunset. Go. And Dory's like, nope, that's not, those are not my lines, bitch. Those are not my lines. How dare you? And she's like, what? Well, if you're going to be acting like this, being aggressive and girl, she's not being aggressive. You can't sit here and put words in her mouth and she say, those are not my lines, bitch. Like, you write your lines, I'll write mine. So the show pretty much ends there. We're left wondering if these two will be friends at all. Who knows? Anyway, excited to see that the franchise is back. And I think we might be okay, guys. Let me know what your favorite outfit at the party was. Mine, hands down, Bose was rocking it, especially with the alpaca, the real alpaca, like an actual alpaca. That is nuts. Like, T. Anyway, see you guys next week.